Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match preview for Everton versus Manchester City, a crucial quarter-final in our quest to end the trophy drought. A major game, and against probably the most imperious club in probably all of Europe at the moment. So, by no means an easy task, but, it's on Carl to maybe find the way. Owen, we'll come to you first. What is the way Carlo needs to go about this?
Whatever we've got planned for the game, whatever tactics, everything has to be perfect to beat Man City in the form they're in. They're by far the best team in England, and you would say if the annoying thing is if we beat Man City and we didn't win the cup, that would be incredibly difficult to take. But getting through on Saturday night will be a very difficult task. A full Goodison, you would, you'd be talking about it as a potential, but they're just so good at what they do. I mean, we're going to have to catch them on an off day where the minds are elsewhere, and we're going to have to be at it. And if that happens, there's a good chance we'll win. If not, then it's the likelihood they're going to be too strong for us. I mean, it's a great opportunity to get to Wembley. It's a great opportunity to close in on the final and the semi-final and sort of ending this trophy drought. But I must admit I don't see many avenues on which everyone can win this game as a stand City and now. But anything can happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Looking forward to the game. I think it'll be a nice break from the week to week torment of the Premier League, just having a cup tie that we can just take our minds off of. We're going to need to be tight defensively. We're going to have to be solid at the back and keep sort of. If we concede, if we go 1-0 down, we have to make sure we don't concede another. And it just to be as solid as we can. Go into with a clean sheet mentality, which obviously always serves as well, because every time I mention it and every time we've done well and there's been huge praise for the team, it's on the back of that. So if we go into it that kind of thinking, then who knows, but it's going to be really difficult. So we're going to have to have an early start as well, get on the score sheet as early as we can, and who knows, but
low block.
Man City in the FA Cup are quite an imperious opponent.
Yeah, well, I think they've won the last 3 FA Cups on the spin, is it?
Arsenal won last year, but they have done before that,
Something like that, yeah. But
they are ridiculous in the competition.
But we've got to try and find the way. Terry, is there any sort of weakness of City's that we could exploit? That could maybe give us a slight chance.
They used to be able to run at their back four and he'd start to wobble. But since they brought in Diaz, he seems to have tied that up a fair bit. You've just got to, as Owen said, play the perfect game against them and hope that they have an off day, because they are just a cut above everyone else. But I'm not of this sort of school of thought, say they're unbeatable. Teams beat them, and I don't just mean like Man United beat them. When a few years ago, when they set the record for points, they were knocked out the cup by Wigan. Like, they can have shock results, and that was when they had Kompany and people like that are still at the club. And I think we need to go into in games before against teams that who are better than his team, and he's managed to come away with the results. I think we'll go into it. We'll probably approach it the same way we approached the Merseyside derby, same way we approached those games in December when we had injuries. We'll probably set our stall out to a very specifically tailored plan to try and counter Man City. And we just got to hope it pays off. I reckon we'll see the 4 centre-backs across the back four. Wouldn't mind that. Lucasina ahead of Ben Godfrey. And we'll probably see the 2 up front. We'll probably see Charles.
I'd play 11 defenders. I'd just play 11 defenders.
Well, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw the back four of centre-backs plus Coleman and Dean on each wing. And then you'd have 2 holding players in the centre with Allen and Davies, and just have
Oh, that'd be
Then
hilarious.
Phil Neville and Johnny Isinger in midfield.
Yeah, but honestly, you know, they're so good. If you're going to win the FA Cup, you probably need to play them. And I'd rather play them at Goodison than play them at
Wembley.
At Wembley. Not that Goodison's been a happy hunting ground for us, but after the last cup game, I think it's there for us to. If we're going to pull off the shock results, I don't think it'll be against anyone like that in the semis. It'll be in the quarters. And if you beat Man City in this cup, you've got to go on and win it. But obviously, the first bit's probably harder than the second bit.
This thing about Goodison, I'm starting to think it's a little bit of a myth, to be honest. And I know we've been getting beat at Goodison, but is it the fact that we're getting beat at Goodison, or is the teams we're playing just counter-attack teams and we don't suit playing counter-attack teams rather than suiting playing at Goodison? Because Newcastle, Burnley, West Ham, they're all teams that, and Fulham to an extent on the day, they like to spring into transition. We don't really suit that. Whereas we played Southampton, we beat them. Leicester came, they had more of the ball. I think it's more to do with who we play rather than where we play. I think it's getting slightly over-egged, to be honest. But
so you're thinking that like maybe the City setup could use our style, the way we could try and counter-attack, but
don't get me. I'd rather be playing Fulham this weekend than Man City. But the point remains that I think if we were playing like an Arsenal or Leicester or Man United or Liverpool or anyone, Villa, even mid-table teams or teams in the top six who like to keep the ball, I'd fancy us 9 times out of 10 in them games to win the game or get a draw. Whereas we were playing, I don't know, we playing a couple of weeks, Crystal Palace, you just shudder at that sight of just not being able to break them down, because they'll press even, they won't even press like Burnley or Newcastle, they'll just drop off, and it's not going to be ideal us playing them because we don't have the creativity to make chances in open play. So we struggle in that kind of scenario more than we do against where we can drop deep ourselves. But I think it just so happens that the games we've been getting beaten at Goodison are the teams we don't suit playing against. I know we beat West Brom, but they had to go and win the games, and otherwise they're going down, so they have to try and win games. I think the rest of the teams, their heads are above water, so they can just counter-attack. I think the only anomaly in any of this is probably the Leeds game with Goodison, which we were playing like the ball was not potato that day and couldn't find the blue shirts. But apart from that, I think it's more to do with a case that we struggle when we have to have the ball, and that's just what happened more at Goodison than anywhere else. I don't think it's a necessary thing that we can't play anyone at Goodison, because if we were playing Liverpool at Goodison this weekend, you'd probably fancy us a bit more because they'll have more of the ball, wouldn't you? And Man City's the same thing. So I think we can approach it in the way we have done and been successful this season. It's just Man City happen to be a more higher caliber level team than anyone we played. So we're going to have to bring that sort of game plan to the table, plus have a bit of luck, plus hope Man City are slightly off tune. And if all that happens, we've got a great chance of winning the game.
Yes, maybe it's going to be easy. Yeah, so in terms of setup, Terry, what personnel would you go with? You touched a bit there on Coleman and Dean as possible wings in a 4-4-2. Who goes in the middle then? And obviously with Corey being out as a major blow, who takes those two positions in the middle?
Allen and Davies. So I'd have Olsen in goal if he's past fit. I hope he is.
If not goalie when needed.
Yeah. We'll have the 4 centre backs: Holgate, Keane, Mina, Godfrey. Probably have Luca Dean on the left, Davies and Allen in the middle. Might even be tempted for this game to have Richarlison on the right and have Sigurdsson ahead of the two sitting in midfield, because he tends to do a good job sitting on the number 6, the opposition team. He might be able to do that with Rodri or Fernandinho or whoever it is who plays. But
that would be my exact team, so there's no point asking me.
Richarlison on the right and Calvert-Lewin up front with Sigurdsson behind. So if you're not going to go for that, you got Richarlison up front and then to drop Sigurdsson out, put whoever on the right, could even be Coleman. But I'd prefer that first team just because I think that probably got the best chance of doing it against Man City if any team's going to. Obviously, I'd like to have Decore, I'd like to have James, but we haven't got them. And a team similar to that, got the results against Chelsea, Arsenal in December. I know they're not as good as City, and Chelsea weren't what they are now then. But I think that's our best shout, something like that. Back four of centre backs, super defensive, super compact, and then just try and use Luca Dean and Calvert-Lewin to best effect.
Yeah.
What we forget as well is the last time we played Man City, right in the sort of middle of their sort of great form, we went to about 65, 70 minutes, I'm sure, 1-1. And if we'd have got the second goal before they did, I know we weren't pushing for it, but if it had bobbled out for a corner and we'd scored to make it 2-1, we'd have been in a great position to have got something from that game. We did really well to keep it 1-1 for so long in that one. If we can go a step further this time, then maybe I agree. I'd go with that exact team Terry picked. The only thing that would make a difference maybe is play a 4-4-2, put Richarlison in front and put Coleman on the right, and just make it really tight and go really direct.
Yeah, I think either way, I think it's got to be something along those lines. We just need as much protection. I can imagine that the Luca Dean further forward idea is definitely one.
My other game plan is just tell every player to stand on the line and just block shot. 10 minutes.
So it's like instead of the low block, it's the underground block.
Just we're seeing men lying below the wall for free kicks.
Yeah, just do that. Lie on top of each other
on the goal line at various points and just let them shoot for 90 minutes, and then when the goalie comes up in the last minute just to have a shot, we just all run out and put in their net. I'm sure Steve Bruce has done something similar in Newcastle in his 18 months there. I'm pretty sure that's a Newcastle tactic.
I think he done it to us in that game. But...
Yeah, he's done that, so we can do it. We can.
There you go.
I'm clutching the straws here.
This is almost on the level of Eddie Howe being on telling Carlo Ancelotti how to manage Steve Bruce is going to be.
He was on bloody Everton v Burnley the other week. He picked the games perfectly.
I can imagine that triggers you a lot.
Yeah, he was bloody trying to tell both managers how to change their stall in the second half. And mate, both of them were in a job for a reason. There's a reason you're in that studio, but you got relegated and now crying for the Barnsley job in last September and everything. You're rubbish.
I think Valerian Ismail gets picked over Eddie Howe now.
Well, we got the job instead of Eddie Howe. Now they're flying, so you got the right one, didn't you?
Definitely. But with this game in mind, then
is it on BT Sport?
It is on BT Sport, I think. Yeah, it is. It is.
Manham and Bingo at the ready.
Oh, Fletcher Clough.
Oh, absolutely.
Fletch.
Him and Glenn Hoddle.
The passing was brilliant, Fletch.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to be surprised at how deep we defend set pieces again. Even though it's the 50th time he's seen it.
I've got a Steve McManaman bingo written down somewhere on some Word documents, and I'll try and dig it up. Him and Fletch. Talk bollocks.
It's a shame. They had the Women's Day the other week. I think we playing Chelsea, were we? Or
yeah.
And I think they had a woman co-commentator on
Lucy
Rory or something, and I thought that was excellent. Why didn't we just do this all the time instead of
actually contributed and brought something to the show and
just put Lucy Ward in a room with Chris Coleman and have them both talk about the game, and I'm happy with that.
Rory on comms,
cliches. Yeah, just have them both just talking about Everton and Man City, and I can live with that. When Steve McManaman and Mark and Keown, the roughest centre half, go and talking about dirty challenges, it just gets to me, honestly.
And McManaman going on about diving.
Yeah. Oh, he hates Atletico Madrid, the way I was watching the other night. He goes, they've been rubbish, Fletch over the 2 legs.
It's one of them. I think he's obviously like he's scorned by the fact that they knocked Liverpool out last year.
Oh, he was fuming that night.
He's ex-Real Madrid and next Liverpool, isn't he? So he's not going to have been happy that night, is he?
Absolute wally. Well, yeah, we've got the pleasure of them two, him and Fletch.
Yeah, so in other words, we've got the pleasure of putting the telly on mute.
Or perfectly legal streams.
Yeah. But me, I'd rather listen to the game in Arabic than listen to that.
Yeah, anything. I'd rather listen to one of those wretched watch-alongs that, like these other YouTubers put on, like Mark Goldbridge, where they just talking riddles for 90 minutes. I'd rather listen to one of them. McManaman.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we'll finish up anyway. I think that's about as much as we can say about this game in terms of we're looking for positives. There's not many of them, but yeah, predictions, guys. Owen,
0-2.
Terry,
Go 1-1 and win it on penalties.
ah.
Well, there's one thing you've automatically got wrong there, but we're not winning a penalty shootout.
Carlo will eventually break all the hoodoos, mate, believe me.
Yeah, eventually it's the important way they'll be next season. And with that in mind, I'm going to say 3-1. Repeat of last one.
I'm so desperate to win the game as well, but I just can't see any positivity.
No, I can't either, mate. I'll be honest. Fair play to Terry there for finding some positivity because me and Owen
I can
between
see
us
us
are
going
struggling.
really long in the game at 0-0. I can see us but I can just see it just being like we're just never going to look like we're going to score, but we're just going to hold on in there till about 73 minutes. They'll score and then I can see it being similar to the United game, the quarterfinals against them in the League Cup.
Oh yeah,
I can see it being similar.
Pain.
That was pain as well.
But yeah, there you have it, guys.
That game either, to be fair, so it might be right.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. But there you have it, guys. Let us know your opinions. Let us know your predictions. Drop us a comment. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content in the build-up to the City game, which is on Saturday on BT Sport, as Owen's touched on, 5:30 PM. So get ready to mute your TVs. And until next time, thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.